It's in fact family carers who give the most support and care for people at the end of life. It's not palliative medicine doctors or nurses or GPs or anyone else, it's the carer, and often that isn't acknowledged. By this project, we are wanting to, first of all, identify people who are caring for people at the end of life, because that's key. This research matters because carers matter so much. Helping them would actually have a large impact, more than any other input, I would think. And because there's been so little work to date, that work at this stage would actually be very effective. It's shown that actually when someone is at the end of life with whatever illness, whether it's cancer or whether it's organ failure or frailty, they have a specific trajectory. Now the carers, especially in cancer, have a similar trajectory. So at diagnosis they're very distressed, and then they might get a bit better with the care, and then they get home it goes down again. So carers themselves are going through a multi-dimensional trajectory of distress on these 4 dimensions, and we've mapped this up and published it in the BMJ. And so really we're trying to integrate the care for them together with the patient. I think carer work needs to be looking towards their assets, allowing carers to actually realise and free them up to use their own assets to actually promote health in the people they love for, rather than saying just a carer, not acknowledging them, and they feel they can't do anything and feel disempowered. By assets, I mean it's their own individual, what they can bring, what they have as a person, to acknowledge that it's a very important role and they're doing well, and how can we help them do that to empower them. That's what I would mean by assets. So there's individual assets of the carer and there's community assets. And if they're linked in with a wider community, whether it be a church or a bowling club or whatever, just actually encouraging them to actually use that asset and encouraging that asset, that community group, to get involved and support people at the end of life. That is health promoting palliative care. So that type of, again, we're talking about looking at assets, looking at the carer's assets, because if they're supported and helped and they feel they're coping, they'll feel, hey, I can cope with this, there's a meaning in this, I'm coping, and that could be a very strong message. So we're actually looking at not only giving them a service, but helping them do what they can do well and grow through it. Carers can bring a lot of things. You know, they have their own thoughts, they've got their own tactics, they've got their own support systems. And if you just say to a carer, how do you think we can help? They will say something, and they will have an idea that might well be the best idea. So allowing them to actually bring to the table what they are thinking, acknowledging that, and working from where that is. So I wouldn't say, what we should do is this. We say, what do you think we should do? And they'll say what they think we do. And then if I have something different, I said, well, I was thinking about this. And then together we come to actually what possibly is the best thing that's happening.